Isang masaganang taon po sa ating lahat, a prosperous new year to all of us. Ako po si Deborah Garcia and welcome to another series of lessons where you will learn not just the theories and form of the language, but also the function and the usage. But before you watch this video, please make sure that you've already watched the previous series with 18 lessons in it. I put the link of the first lesson in the description box below because in that series, I discussed all the major theories that would help you understand the Filipino language from the very basic to the advanced level. So if you're ready, grab your pen and paper and let us learn all about conversational Filipino. And since I already greeted you a prosperous new year, today we are going to talk about the things that Filipinos do during New Year. By the way, when we say welcoming the new year in Filipino, it is pagsalubong sa bagong taon. I listed 5 items here in our vocabulary words. These are the things, the most common things that you can find in Filipino household during the new year. The first one is the firecrackers. Well, in the previous years, we banned those really big and strong firecrackers that could cause death, but somehow there are ways to smuggle them. So there are still people who use them, but actually they are banned in the Philippines. But small firecrackers are okay. We call it mga paputok. Mga, it's because it's plural, firecrackers. And then paputok is actually the firecrackers. So we do firecrackers. We got that tradition from the Chinese people because we believe that during the new year, it is the time to shoo away the bad spirits. And by lighting the firecrackers, we scare the bad spirits away. So I hope COVID will be included in those bad spirits, right? So we do firecrackers, we also do fountains, sparklers, and we also have fireworks display. All right, next item is the trumpet. Not really the musical instrument trumpet, it's just like a paper rolled and then they put something in there so that when you blow it, it would like make a sound. So those are the most common trumpets. These are cheap trumpets and it is also used to scare the bad spirits and to bring good luck. So we use torotot. We blow our torotot or our trumpet at 12 midnight. Filipinos, by the way, do not sleep during the new year. We wait for the countdown and then we do these things. We light our firecrackers, we blow our torotot, and the New Year's Eve in the Philippines is called medianoche. Remember, for Christmas Eve, what do we call it? It's Noche Buena. Now for New Year's Eve, it's medianoche. All right. Also, aside from these firecrackers and trumpets to scare away bad spirits, we also believe that during New Year, we should have 13 kinds of round fruits. So we say, how do we say 13 in Filipino? It's labintatlo. Labintatlong bilog. Bilog is round or circle. Na prutas. Prutas is fruits. So 13 round fruits. All right, because it symbolizes in Chinese belief they consider coins or the oranges or mandarin. These are round things and they symbolize eternity because it's round, and also it symbolizes money because rounder coins or money. Okay, also related to this one, the round fruits, we also wear polka dots clothes. We call polka dots as polka dots in the Philippines, or sometimes we don't call it polka dots, but it's bilog. See, bilog is round. Bilog is, it's because polka dots has many round things, so we say we repeat it. So bilog na damit. Damit is clothes. Also, another thing, it's a superstitious belief in the Philippines that at 12 midnight, those short people should jump as high as they could so that they would grow taller. It's crazy, but until now, we are doing it. And talking about New Year, aside from all those things that I showed to you earlier, we Filipinos are also of making New Year's resolution. Here are the most common New Year's resolutions that we Filipinos have every start of the year. The first one, you can usually see this in Facebook memes or Facebook posts. Filipinos, by the way, are crazy about Facebook. So I don't know anyone who doesn't have Facebook, because even the old people have Facebook. So usually they would post something like this, magda-diet na ako. You might have a clue what is this all about, because diet here is an English word. Diet. This is one of the examples of the English term that we retain, but we make it sound like a Filipino word. We put prefix on it. So we say magda-diet na ako. All of these verbs are actually in the future tense. So usually we repeat the first syllable of the root word. Like this word, diet, is an English word, but we repeated the first syllable, but we did not copy the D and I, because when we pronounce the word diet, it's da. The first syllable is da, D-A, and we put it here. And we put mag to make it an action word. So magda diet na ako. That's how you say it in Filipino. When you say, I am going to try, or I'm going to lose weight. Actually, this one means I want to lose weight, but we use the word diet. What we don't actually mean balanced diet, but we really want to lose weight. So I will go on a diet, or losing weight. Ako is me. So, but you say it as magda-diet na ako. Second, mag again. Mag-iipon na ako. The root word here is ipon. Ipon is when you save money. It's crazy because in the Philippines, we don't save money in the bank. Usually, we don't do it in the bank. We always get our version of supposed to be piggy bank, but we don't really use a piggy bank. We use these kinds of things. We call it alkansya. This is the spelling. So we say alkansya. We put our money in an alkansya. So mag-iipon means I am going to save money. Ako. Okay? Number 3, hindi na ako malilate. Oh, this one is another example of an English word that we peppered it with the Filipino language, and we conjugate it to make it sound like a Filipino word or a Tagalog word. Hindi is not. Okay, hindi means not. Not, this is a negative one. Not me malilate. What do you think? It's hindi na ako malilate means I won't be late anymore. Maybe you heard that Filipinos are always late. We have this thing that we call Filipino time. It's always 30-minute or 1 hour late. So if you attend a party and the party starts at 5, actually it would start at 6, or the earliest would be 5:30, and that's not good. But we Filipinos have that kind of bad habit, so being late. So hindi na ako malilate means not already or anymore. Me late. See, malilate, when we pronounce the word late, the first syllable is le, right? Male. Because we don't have the le, we don't have the a sound, the long a sound, then we use the e. So malelate. This is not male. Remember, in Filipino, we read it by syllable. So malelate. Hindi na ako malilate. So I will not be late anymore. Alright, number 4. Mag-aaral na ako ng mabuti. Mag, okay? It's still a prefix for verb. Aral is study. So since this is in the future, so we repeated the first syllable. Mag-aaral. I will study. I will study. Ng mabuti, it means harder. Mabuti actually is good. Mabuti, like when you're being asked, kumusta? Or how are you? And you answer, mabuti, right? Or we say, I will study well. Number 5, this one is longer. So, babawasan ko ang paggamit ng gadgets. So, we don't have a Tagalog translation for that. This sentence is talking about gadgets. So, what do you mean by babawasan? The root word of this is bawas. So, we have a prefix and we have a suffix. Babawasan is in the future tense. It means reduce. So I will reduce. Paggamit is use. I will reduce the use of gadgets. I will reduce the use of gadgets. Alright, number 6. Lagi na akong maglilinis ng kwarto. Lagi means always in English. Lagi ako, again, me. Always me. Maglilinis, the root word is linis, to clean. Maglilinis is in the future tense. Cuarto. Cuarto, actually, the exact translation of cuarto is room. But in the Philippines, when we say cuarto, we only refer it to bedroom. So I will always clean the room or my bedroom. Or you can say, lagi na akong maglilinis ng kwarto ko. You can add ko. It means my room. So you don't want your room to become messy anymore. So you would always clean it. Okay? Number 7, this is difficult. This is very difficult to do as a New Year's resolution. Hahabaan ko ang pasensya ko. The root word here is haba. Haba means long. Okay? Hahabaan, in the exact translation, you will lengthen or make it longer. Longer, my pasensya is patience. So what's that? I will extend my patience, or I will be more patient. I will be more patient. That's how you say it in English. But when you say it in Tagalog, it will say, I will lengthen or my patience, or I will make my patience longer. That's the exact translation of this one. Okay? Number 8. Hindi again. So we have hindi, and then there's another hindi. Hindi means no, right? Or not. So hindi na ako lagi, always. Hindi na. So I will not always magrereklamo in the future again. The root word is reklamo. Reklamo is complaint. So I will not always complain. Okay, number 9. Hindi na ako mangungutang. Oh my gosh, there are a lot of friendships that got destroyed because of this word, utang. See, it's the same. Mangungutang, utang. Utang is noun, mangungutang is a verb, it's in the future. Utang actually is debt. Mangungutang is to apply for loan or to borrow money. So, hindi na ako mangungutang means I will not borrow money anymore. In the Philippines, we don't borrow money from banks from agencies that would give you loans. We usually borrow money from our friends. It's usual. So if you borrow money from your friends and you won't be able to pay it, then of course you will fight and your friendship will be destroyed. This is a very common thing in the Philippines. A lot of people are fighting because of utang, because of debt. And also, one interesting thing, we are not really into credit scores. We don't have credit history. So actually, you can borrow money and then go somewhere and don't pay it anymore. Even with banks, well, they'll keep your records, but not as strict as what we have here in Canada, for example, that would really become a permanent record if you don't pay your debts. But in the Philippines, we have a hard time making those people who owe us money pay for what they owe. So, hindi na ako mangungutang means I will not borrow money anymore. And of course, this number 9 is related to number 10. It's magbabayad na ako ng utang. So this person is talking about utang again, debt. The root word is bayad, means pay. Magbabayad means I will pay my debts. So I will pay my debts. Most of the verbs that we use to state our New Year's resolutions are in the future tense. Now I am going to give you a little quiz about the future tenses of the verb. You might want to review our previous lessons regarding future tense, how to conjugate them, or you can also check the previous series that I have regarding the different verbs. Don't worry, I am going to give you the prefix or the category, like what kind of verb is it? Is it a mag verb? Is it an verb, or is it a ma verb, or whatever verb it is. And then you can always go back to our previous lesson to see the pattern of the conjugation. By the way, someone asked me, like, how will I know if the verb is a ma verb, or if it's a mag verb, or if it's an verb? Well, actually, we don't really have a rule, or maybe there are some rules that we're not aware of, but if you always speak Filipino, you would know that this verb is a ma verb, or this one is an verb. So it means you really need to practice or be familiar with those kinds of verbs so that you would know what kind of affixes you are going to use. But with regards to the conjugation of the verb for the tenses, then we have a specific rule for that. And I mentioned that, or I already had previous lessons discussing the pattern of the conjugation. So, were you able to conjugate the verbs I gave you? If you want me to check if your answers are correct, you can always write your comments below and let us have a discussion. Or if you have one New Year's resolution that you would like to share with us, please write them in Tagalog. Write them in the comment section below, and then we are going to see what have you got. And that's all for today. I hope you learned something. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. And see you again in the next lesson. Bye!